Oh, yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. How you doing? I am Christopher Dahl, and welcome to our Subterranean Space Art Studios here on a Friday afternoon. Greetings, everyone. Hope you're all doing pretty good. Thank you for joining me here today, and welcome to the Basement Studio. Hey, this is where all the art goes on. We are live here every week, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We usually do a couple of short paintings. We've been doing our space frog collage paintings every week, so we will be starting out with that. We'll then work on a little bit of a painting that we started the drawing on last week, and I really wanted. I had a good idea for it, so we're going to pick that up and do some of that afterwards. Hey, Rhonda's here. Good afternoon, Rhonda. How are you doing today? Hopefully thawing out after the last couple of weeks. Yeah. Hey, Houdini Bob, how you doing here? Greetings. Let me say, yeah, all wrong franchise. Hey, thank you, Houdini. Got your, yeah, you've got some fun stuff coming down there, so thank you so much. That's very, very cool. Well, welcome aboard, everyone. Yeah, we've been a busy week here in the Space Art by Christopher Dahl Studios, which if you want to catch all of the shenanigans, go ahead and let me see if I can pull this one up over here. Is it this one? No, it's, yeah, there we go. Yeah, oh, that's really cool. Hey, bump it up. Let's just get that bit to screen. There we go, bit to screen. Check out our Patreon page. Woohoo! I am doing all sorts of fun things. We've got Space Frog. Well, it's kind of comic and cartoon heavy this week, but it's relevance. So there we go. There's both free and paid. $5 a month gives you full access to all the fun things that we're releasing, exclusive content for Patreon members. Just a way to support the art and the stream, and the more interest we have, the more I will do. So that's a good place to check it out. And yeah, Rhonda called it. We have Space Pig. Hey everybody, the Space Pig. With this is the standard drink today with Space Pig. I want to call out Rhonda for her very very cool Space Pig. Yay! We both love Space Pig, and we love your painting, the Jetsons painting we've got of Space Pig too. That's very, very cool. Hey, you received them today. Oh, cool. Hey, thanks, Houdini. Yes, actually, those two in particular are some of the last two that I have not seen the print. So thank you. I appreciate it. We do have some prints available through the site. Yes. But yeah, there are some shenanigans worth checking out on the Patreon. So for those of you that are there, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm unearthing my old comic strip Breaking Fitz Law because it sort of dovetails into the work I'm doing on Space Frog, and I feel like there's an intersection. So for those of you who don't know, I did a comic strip, web comic, back around 2014 called Breaking Fitz Law, and it was kind of just my, let me just see what, but throw something at the wall, see what sticks. So basically a bunch of goofiness that I had transcribed into Moleskine journals over the years while working in different tech studios, tech companies. Studios is actually, yeah, monolithic, megalomaniac tech companies. Yeah, those exactly. So a little touch of weirdness on there. It was a test for me to really see whether or not I could do the comics like that. It was something I kind of always wanted to do, and I ran for a little bit. Just as with everything else, life got in the way. I stepped away from it, came back to it, stepped away from it, and so we're crossing paths again. Yay! Awesome. So anyway, check it out. I gotta say, Rhonda, I do think with all the effort going on in the Space Frog universe, I do think Space Pig definitely Space Pig definitely needs a little bit better of a treatment than the Space Pig Surratt dot that I gave him in the last painting of Space Frog's lair. Let me grab that one. I still feel bad. I love, here, let me just put this on over here. This was one we did a couple of weeks ago, and I got Space Frog in here, but Space Frog's like what, all of 3 dots, right? So this is a fanciful version of the space pad where Space Frog lives while they're on Earth. Okay, so cool. Anyhow, yeah, hey, and this week again we are gonna be starting off with our Space Frog themed painting. Here we go. Yeah. We are gonna. These have been so much fun. I've got to be honest with you. This whole space frog collage thing has been a good time. Let's pull up the painting, shall we? Yay. Anyhow, so here's the current state of I realize the light is going to be an issue. So this is a 16 by 20 inch canvas here, and yeah, so we have 4 of them in here now. So yeah, we're just going to continue. We're going to continue on with that tonight. Awesome. Hey, mediocre modelers here. Greetings. How you doing today? That's awesome. I hope you're all having a good week. It's good to see familiar names in here. We're going to keep having fun with it. And the tables behind me are starting to fill up with all the models that I haven't finished. So we will be having some. I've got a couple of small models that might make a very fun live stream. We might come back to one of those for a little bit too. Anyway, the drink of choice this week is coffee. Hey, there we go. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and get things kicked off here. So here's the deal. So every week I draw a card. These were provided by Stephanie Dahl. Thank you, Stephanie. This is a brilliant idea. And let's go over the rules, shall we? The theme, of course, is Space Frog. Yay, Space Frog. Exciting things going on with Space Frog. Let's see, rules. So we only draw 1 square per week. We then pick the square and then paint the square with my interpretation of what is on the piece of paper, and I must stay within the theme. So here we go. Let's go ahead and... So our previous ones, I'll pull these out here since they're here. We have Battle, Spaghetti, Cats, and The Fifth Element. That's really cool. Alrighty, let's see. I know I need a drum roll sound effect is what I need. All right, let's get this one right here. Boop. All right, that is our draw. I will be removing these from the experience. All right, let's see what we got here. The suspense is killing me. Okay, actually, let's pull up the beast. Let's pull up the painting while we're here, right? Shall we? Okay, here we go. We're gonna make this official. Alrighty. You know, a couple of these have actually just really almost stumped me. So I do think this is hilarious. Okay, and then this week's drawing is Nebula. Well, all right. Space Frog and a Nebula. Okay, so fortunately, don't panic anybody because I am a space artist after all, so I can do the Nebula. I can really do the Nebula. So, okay, interesting. Ooh, wow, that's kind of fun. Hey, from Palermo, Sicily, greetings. We've got okay. I promise I will do the full pronunciation here. Thank you so much. We appreciate you following along. Thank you. We hope it's fun and have a good time with it. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Alrighty. Let's see. So our Nebula. Let's do first things first here. I feel like, let's see. Do we want to pick a corner? Does a nebula deserve to be like right in the middle here? I mean, I kind of feel like maybe it should. Here we go. Boom, Nebula. Alrighty, there we are. Space art by Christopher Dahl has gone international. You know, we love having folks from different parts of the world. I've had. Gosh, let me think about this. So we have Italy. I know we have a couple from New Zealand. And I've had Chile at one point, Brazil, and I know a couple from the UK. So that's really cool. This is fun. I dig it. I totally dig it. I want to visit you all and do a food tour through all of your countries. I swear that would be my motivation entirely. But I'm just delaying. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay. Nebula, nebulosity, nebula. Well, it becomes 2 static things, right? So it becomes Space Frog and then nebula. So, some of my favorite nebula are planetary nebula. So the ones that are explosions, right? A nebula made out of frog spawn. There we go. Hey, from Bedfordshire, UK. Greetings. Hello. We're collecting them from across the pond. Thank you very much. Welcome aboard. Awesome. Yeah, nebula made from frog spawn. Oh, see, now that's tempting, but we're trying to keep the maturity rating without crossing too far. I could believe me, I'm enough of a child to be able to enjoy that. Oh my gosh. So, planetary nebula, the kind that were like the ring nebula, right? The dumbbell nebula, crab nebula, for instance. Yeah. Nebula in the shape of space. I'm kind of thinking that may have to be the one. So it's basically the space frog nebula is what you're saying, right? Oh, I like that a lot. Okay, cool. You know what? I am stumped on this one, to be honest with you. It is stumping to me. All right, I got some bits on here, but I'm gonna paint over everything anyway. So let me see if I can't do that. We'll just but I'm always going left to right on the space frog. So let's go the other way. Let's go right to left. Okay, let's get his eye in here. What I'm going to do is to properly get space frog the nebula, I need space frog the shape. So I am going to go ahead. Yeah, this will be good because this is kind of like this is kind of front and center. So anyone just viewing it will be like, "What am I looking at? What am I looking at?" And we got to give that space frog smile. It looks kind of evil in this one, actually, but I think with the nebula we can figure out. There we go. Bum bum. And I think what I might do is I might add a little familiar spacecraft in the mix of it, so it'll be like, wow, what a weird nebula that we are traveling through. Yes. Oh, and then up here we'll have like a star. There we go. Hey, that's really cool. Thank you, Houdini Bob, for that one. I'm sometimes I get stuck in my own stuff. All right, nebula are sort of a. If you think of the Helix Nebula, for instance, it looks like I don't have one around me. I can't believe why do I not have the Helix Nebula on the side? Oh, there's a couple, and then of course the Pillars of Creation. Although that's not technically that's not planetary nebula. That is planetary, or yeah, it's stellar nursery is what that is. So we need this. Okay, alrighty. Let's go ahead and break out the old paints here. So I am using what I've been using for the whole thing. So I'm going to keep using these fluid acrylics by Golden. They're my go-to anymore for models, airbrushing, but it's also working out well here. I like the coverage. I'm kind of enjoying the freedom that it is providing for us. All right, so what I'm going to do first, let's get out. I've had my little trusty tray of colors, tray of all colors, and I think I'm going to do something here that will be. I've got, in the interest of not ruining anything else. Actually, I should just. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So this is going to be my cheap way of masking everything else, because I'm starting to get afraid that I'm going to that I'm going to paint over something, right? Or I'm going to splash paint? You got to be kidding me. No way. No one would ever do that, right? No one would ever do that. There we go. So I guess this means I've got to prep something like a surgery table every week. I'm capable. I could do this. I promise. I can certainly do that. Yes. These are never going to stay. All right. Well, that's about as much as I'm going to worry about it then. And let's put that on down. There we go. This is just a piece of glass that we'll never see it. There we go. Okay, and then our paint thing. We're going to start off with a teal paint, and I'm just going to kind of get the lines in around him. Let's see. I need the shop rag of you. It's been a fun week. I have to admit, I'm not posting a lot right now because, well, I'm kind of posting older stuff. I'm working on the new stuff is what it's coming down to. So if anyone's kind of curious, that is my, yeah. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. No, it's not an excuse. Really, the time in the studio is being spent rather well. All right. So Well, this stuff's really nice. It's really nice and thin. Um, Good illustration paint. Anyhow, and besides, now that I've got glass on here, I can just blip, 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 blip. There we go. All right. Um, you'd asked me 10, 15 years ago if I would be doing this. I would have said, "What? What are you talking about? This doesn't seem like something that a person my age should be doing." But there we go. Yes. So the important part of doing a nebula is, well, we gotta get our shape down first because the rest of this is all gonna end up being kind of black of space, right? Black of space. We're gonna just treat this like, I gotta give Space Frog his Mona Lisa smile here, right? That sort of nice little, what are we really doing? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when I draw Space Frog, he comes out, he, she, it. By the way, I have not identified a gender for Space Frog. Not because of any political reason. I haven't. I'm gonna make the eye a little bit bigger. And then when I was thinking about that once a while back, I'm like, I don't have to. They're amphibians. So we've all seen Jurassic Park. Life finds a way. Yes, there we go. Less Genesee Valley frog, more tree frog, right? Right. There we go. Boy, Stephanie, that's a hard one. That is truly a hard one. You do something with that nebula. It's like, well, okay. That was hard. We'll make, there we go. That's working. Okay. The edge there. Give it the edge. All right. Coolness. Oh, wait. We got a little bit more right along here. I am literally just treating this like a comic. Here we go. All righty. Now, carbon black. I I am running out of some of these, which is I gotta do another blick order. An absurd amount of paint on hand, but I am going through some. It's funny when you see the colors that you go through faster than others. Well, we're gonna need some. We're gonna need a bunch of that. I cruised through a bunch of black when I was painting these gigantic 2 by 4 foot space backdrops, which are actually hanging on my wall over here. Had a practical need for those. There was nothing practical about it. Are you kidding me? Who are you kidding, Chris? There's nothing practical about what I did with that. No, it was just fun. It was really fun. So I went through a lot of my black paint, and I still have a pile left, but you know. Here, I should probably just go ahead and stick that up there. There we go, nebula. All right, we need space, right? We need space. And if I get this black down on here, we can, I'll let this dry. In fact, I might skip ahead at a certain point to start the other painting of our live stream today. And the reason I might do that is if I let this dry, I have an opportunity to do some really fun things. So, all right, here we go. And actually, I'm going to be using this same paint on our main painting today. Our main painting. You know, I spent a lot of time on the last couple of Space Frog ones, and because I was having fun with them, and I was just like, I'm tapped. I don't know. It's really weird. You know, sometimes it's hard to perform like a circus monkey for all you people. No, just kidding. It's actually not. It's but yeah, it is funny what happens when I'm just sort of on it for a bit. Yes. All right. There we go. So the effect will go something like this. Let me get that on there. There would have been a lot easier ways to do this, but you see, I'm trying to preserve the white of the canvas. under the teal. So yeah, the teal here. Oh, look at that. I'm already getting a little bit of what was going on. That's pretty cool. Yay. Oh, off to the edge, off to the edge, off to the edge. Okay, there we are. And I mean, that would actually be funny if I just sort of, since this paint goes on very fluid, right? You can kind of get, if you play with it right, you can kind of get, yeah, I'll show you in a second. We're going to try it under his space frog body here. Here's what you do. So you pool up a bunch of paint, right? I'm gonna make sure that there's a bunch of liquid paint pooled up here, and it's black. And then I'm going to come in with my other brush. Load up some, I haven't even added any, I could add some flow enhancers and stuff like that, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let this do its thing. And we're going to get like a, there we go. We're going to get a little bit of a space frog nebula effect here. Yeah, that's what we're going to work. That's how we're going to work this. We're just going to flood this down the line, separating the teal from the black. And let some of that weep into the paint. And we're going to get this weird sort of effect. Oh, it's actually working. Haha, that's pretty funny. Okay. I don't want to go too crazy with that yet. I think I'm going to be able to do quite a lot with that. So, all right. Da-da-da. All righty. I would like to let that dry. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to shift things up for a second first. Coffee. Thank you. Oh, very good. Space Pig coffee. Thank you. Awesome. Now, I'm going to take all of this with me. We're going to set Space Frog aside for a moment. And, see, we're going to put it right down there, right? Cool. Now, let's come out to the next thing. This was what I started last week. And I drew this thing just kind of on a lark, right? And I think if any of you are here, you probably remember this. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. I drew it too far to the right. But then I put the hand in, and I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm going to go with it here. Let me put my face. Let me take my face off here. Face off. All right. So what we're going to do with this one is kind of the same but different. But I have a lot of my black here because I poured out a pile of it for Space Frog. So we're just going to continue on the same thing over here. Now, this is a piece of illustration board. So it's kind of like matte board. Here, let me show you. So it's crescent board, but it has it's illustration board. If you're familiar with illustration board, same principle. Yeah, it's illustration board. If you're not familiar with it, just imagine thick matte board, but the top of it is a like a Bristol. So it's really, good. I think it's cold. This one's cold pressed, I think. Yeah, really smooth. Cold press, hot press. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get space in here. There we go. And there's going to be kind of an effect here. So I want to leave that. We're just gonna paint around. We're gonna add space. I drew this in pencil. I drew this with my same lead holding pencil here. And actually, it wasn't until this week, I covered it with clear gesso. So it basically has a clear layer and a new painting surface on it. So I'm hoping that this is a process I've seen a lot of people have done. They do this for oil paint too, which is really cool. So we're just going to work with it. We're just going to take this on in. Da-da-da. Janeway would approve of the coffee. She went hunting for some in a nebula. That's right. I forgot it. Yes, Janeway and her coffee. That's very true. And by the way, who could blame her? That's funny. I'm very sad. I finished my Star Trek: The Next Generation rewatch. I watch these. I have these shows on in the background when I'm working. Sometimes it depends really. Sometimes it's music. A lot of times it's old sci-fi shows. And every couple of years I swing back through my favorites. I don't do them constantly, like not every year. for instance, I hadn't gone through the next gen and probably through. It's been before the move. Same with Deep Space Nine, actually. So I moved on. I moved on from next gen, and I'm on Deep Space Nine right now, which was a in the annals of Star Trek history, Deep Space Nine had as many people irritated with it as any other new Star Trek show. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't think at first I didn't think it was gonna stick around. People were so like, "What the heck is that?" But it found its footing. It found its footing, and it became one of the best love of the Star Trek shows with good reason. And it's a good show. So if you're out there going, gosh, which Star Trek should I watch? Well, it's tough because it's all recursive and kind of calls back on each other. It's a lifestyle, I guess. So anyway, but what's frustrating to me, and I'm gonna have to work on this. I no longer I actually no longer. I don't think I ever owned a DVD or Blu-ray of either Next Gen, Star Trek: The Next Generation, or Deep Space Nine. So I'm gonna have to start popping in some copies of this stuff. I think very important. Yeah, this is the important stuff of life, right? So I think that we're going to do a riff on the gigantic hand of Apollo that comes down and grabs the Enterprise in the old show, but they never really did that specifically in the Next Generation. So we're going to give it its due, right? This is Carbon Black by Golden, and it is a very good black. So once we get this down, we'll kind of do the same thing we're going to do with Space Frog. We're just gonna work it. And in the interest of not wasting any, yeah, for those part, DS9 did not boldly go. Boldly came to them. Such a departure. The hardcore fans didn't like it at first. They really didn't. I remember some people who were like, "What the heck?" And I got to be honest with you, the tone shift was a little weird for me too. I didn't know quite whether or not I was fond of it. It took a while, right, before I warmed up to it. But then again, I'm sort of, we were all old. It's what we're used to. Wait, that thing's different. What are you talking about? So you got to fight against that, right? Especially the older you get, the easier it is for you to go, oh, it's new. Stop it. Ah. So if you don't work your way over it, then you're not going to grow as a human being, in my opinion. And if you're not going to grow as a human being, then what's the point? Just go settle up someplace and retire. Anyway, so don't bring that one. The one with the pointed ears reminds me of Pan, and Pan always annoyed me. This was definitely one of my dad. I remember it was one of my dad's favorite episodes, but I think it's because the actress in it, and I can't remember her name, Lieutenant. What's her name? Well, she had a particularly attractive dress. I think my dad liked the dress. So thank you, William Ware Thesis, for the fantastic clothing design from all the episodes of Star Trek, including Who Moons for Adonis. Yes. Hey, Wes is here. Greetings. How you doing? It's such a classic episode, right? I mean, really. It's one of the favorites, even though it's hokey, ridiculous, and 60s, but that's okay. And sorry, Walter Koenig, my apologies. They gave you the awful. If you're watching, right? As if actually, I've seen him at several conventions. He wouldn't recognize me from Adam, but very, very nice guy. I am so sorry about the monkey's wig they made him wear. Oh my good God, what were they thinking? That was terrible. Oh man, I tell ya. Please don't do it. Just don't. Sometimes you just have to say no, everybody. Like maybe in the 23rd century, they wouldn't have heard of the monkeys. Oh, I got rid of my effect. Okay, well, I guess we're just going to do the effect the proper way then. There we go. I am Chia of the Russias. Tsar of the Russias. Are you the Tsar of all Russia? That's right. Yes, that's right. Yes. Forgive me. I saw it Tier. I saw Zara's Tier, and I thought maybe you were doing the other episode. Akar is dead. I am the Tier. Yes. And I saw fear in the Klingon's eye. Yes. We're just all over the map on these shows tonight. If you're not a Star Trek fan, sorry. I don't always do Star Trek stuff. I'm just on a I'm revisiting old Star Trek. What can I say? All right, here we go. Bum bum. That's right. Wes has been using Houdini in anger. I love that. That's awesome. How are you all doing? Welcome aboard this week. That's fun. Using Houdini in anger. Yes. Very cool. Alrighty. Lieutenant, yeah, that's right. Lieutenant Palomas, right? Right? Something like that. So I got a good start of this one now too. We got some black on there. Ooh, is that? Ooh, I've got the whooshy part at the back end that's not going on quite as well. Let's see if I can't address that. The whooshy part. All these technical terms involving Star Trek ships, right? The whooshy bit. You don't get that right, you're not going to get the show. All right, here we go. Yes, Leonard James Akar. An episode that has grown on me. When I was a kid, it was not quite my favorite. Anyway, Friday's Child. See, I mean, I don't even need to own. Who's kidding? At least the old Star Trek, I could probably run all of the episodes in my head with all the sound effects in both the original version and the CG version, so I could choose which special effects I want to see in my brain theater at any given point in time. By the way, this is it's a dumb superpower, but I have it. Alrighty, let's come back to. All right, so I'm gonna let this one set up. So this is all wet, but we gotta. This is fun. We're gonna have a good time. So yeah, I'm gonna do the whole green hand thing and everything. We're gonna work that one. Alrighty, back to the nebula. So our space frog painting. We got to start on it. Hey, you missed the start, Wes. It's okay though. You're gonna be fine. We're gonna work it. We're on Nebula this week. We have drawn Nebula as the name, and as a protective measure, I'm using Post-it notes and this glass to hopefully keep it from ruining everything. There we go. Awesome. Yeah. So I just getting back to the watching. I just watched all of Next Gen, pretty much start to finish in order. Including Sub Rosa, which I don't think Stephanie had ever seen Sub Rosa, so I had to show her Sub Rosa. If you know, you know. Gates McFadden and an ancient ghost. All right. Now, I need sort of I'm going to continue with the greens in here until I get to the part where I want to add the other ones. We're going to pretend like this is a greenish orange nebula, which actually is some of the colors you would see in some of these, depending on which telescope and all of that. So I want a darker color on the inside, and I don't think I want to just do the teal and black. I need a dark that. So I'm gonna do. Well, phthalo blue would darken that like a Kreza, but also so would. Yeah, let's try it. All right. I'm gonna go for I haven't broken out the phthalo blue in a long time. I think I need a Borg space frog. Yes. Yeah, I couldn't put Rivet into resistance, which is futile, but I'm sure I can eventually. Eventually, he will think of it. He'll figure that out. All right, let's see. I need some raw umber. So I've got a darker blue with my teal. I want a good orange. That's sort of kind of a yellow orange. That's what we really need. But I agree. Locutus of Frog. Oh, that's not the one. This is actually a brand new one. Why is that one still in here? Okay. The proper raw umber. There we go. The only thing diabolical about these things is if you don't have the caps screwed on and you shake them like this without having something over the top, you end up getting that paint everywhere because it is actually a very fluid liquid. So there we go. All right. I'm Frogus of Borg. Frogus! Frogus McManus. Okay, where are I've got a little round brush. So I'm gonna try with this. Let's work up some color here. So I'm gonna grab some teal. I'm gonna darken it with some phthalo blue. That's good. And then we're gonna use this raw umber to get us close to black. There. Oh, that's good. No, that's really good. And not too, yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, so there we go. Boom, ba-doom, boom. Frogus of Borg. Well, you know, Stephanie doesn't remember which, what do you call it? What words she put together for this. So as far as I can, there might be a Borg in here. I don't know. I wasn't quite on my Trek kick back in the when she wrote this up, but you never know. All right, here we are. So, the Frog Star Nebula. I'm trying to just get up close to my my teal line without get as close without going over. It's The Price is Right, but for painting. I should have mixed up more of this color, but that's okay. I can do it. All right, we are definitely getting there. All right. So I could have, so you know, because Space Frog has kind of a yellow under his chin. I could do a different, a more brown orangish based middle. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that. The end of Who Mourns for Adonis left me feeling down after Apollo realized we outgrew. It was so sad. It was like maybe we should. What is it that Kirk says? Maybe we should have gathered a few laurel leaves. Shut up! He almost killed us, Captain. I don't know. Yeah, it actually it's kind of funny how it actually brings that back in. There's a few times you get a surprising emotional turn from that show. You know, if you're allowing yourself to fall into it, it's pretty funny how they pull that off. Not exactly common for the era, right? So this is actually we're seeing light on this leftover here, where that's just a pool of black paint. So, all right. Well, what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna go in with my raw umber. I'm gonna tint it a little bit, but we're gonna keep it mostly the orange. All right, here we go. And the reason I'm gonna do this will become clear as we decorate the frog. These are becoming more complicated. These are almost becoming, even though they're just small 3x3 or so squares, they're taking quite a bit. It's fun. Now I don't really know what I'm going to do with this at the end of the run here, so you know, I've debated what we auction it. Does it go on T-shirts? Actually, I think the idea of this being like a print for I could turn this into a print for towels, right? How fun would that be? the print for towels mode. All right, and then we're gonna bring this around. There we go. Oh, I know what I needed. Yeah, hold tight. Hold tight, everybody. We need our orange. We need our orange. You know, in terms of owning a show on in media, I actually don't have the old show in Blu-ray, which has the old effects and the new effects. I just have an old DVD of just the old shows. So yeah, that's very interesting. All right. We're going to do the same principle here, but we're going to just drop in some orange along this edge. More than that. And we're going to see if we can't get some nebula effects going in here. And again, I'm working with liquidy paint here, so I'm kind of just pushing. I have a dark down, right? Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm getting some nebula stuff going on. Oh, it's very nebula-y, very nebula-ish, I guess you could say. There we go. All right, there we go. Woohoo! Yeah, yeah. All right. Boom, boom. I see. We're all not that impressed. Go. Kind of going to do the same thing out here. Just letting the colors sort of drift on each other. What's going to happen is we're going to get a real nice effect once we add the stars. Yay! I actually have a painting I can do stars on. How do you like that, everybody? That's actually pretty fun, right? Star painting on, yes. Oh yeah. Oh, I need to do the eyes this way too. I should probably do the eyes this way. We're gonna do the. Okay, let me set it up. So first you get some thick paint in here, right? So it pools without running. There we go. I'm gonna attack the orange part, the insides of his eyes here. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, how you doing? Greetings. We are all having a great day. Thank you. Awesome. So far, so good. All things considered. Hopefully that won't go any further than what that is, but there we go. Oh, it's so weird. You know, it accidentally, everyone, I feel like I'm getting that. You know when you would take like color film and it's like a negative? I don't know, it's getting a really weird effect. That's really fun. Oh, I'm just gonna let that sit for a moment. All right. So let me grab let's see, I got this titanium white. That's not the one I want. That's the titanium white, and there's some titan buff. Ah! I keep running out of I'm running out of my paints. White in particular, since I use it on so many things. Yes. There we go. I need a place to put some white, so I'm just going to put it right up there. There we go. There. What am I painting? So this is Space Frog, and Space Frog every week I draw a concept. So this week is Nebula. This one was Spaghetti. And we're taking our Space Frog character and painting him up. I've got a couple of others in here too. I'll show those at the end. And we're painting in acrylic. We are also working on a little painting on the side here. This is the start of a painting. It's an enterprise being grabbed by the great god Apollo. So I'm crossing the streams a little bit here. Doing a little space art today. Yeah. How you doing? Welcome aboard. Boom, 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 boom. We got to get like a star in here. There we go. There's a couple. We're going to get a couple more in here. Dropping in some hero stars. This way we kind of end up looking like I'll do a flick of them at some point, but I wanted a few on here. There we go. This one's gonna be tough. I'm not sure if I'm pulling off the nebula effect yet, but we're gonna work it. We're gonna work this one for a little bit. Wish it would just dry. Holy crap! I know, right? Oh, some serious star flicking. I know, it's crazy. I actually have an opportunity back here to sort of drop some in. There we go. And I'm just going to let this sort of do its thing. Because there's got to be like I figure there's got to be a way to like let this end up looking like a semi-natural thing. Semi-natural. But there's some of the more all of my paint went it went out there. Oh gosh, okay, very cool. There's definitely a need for like a magenta in this, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get there quite yet. We'll keep working it. All right. Dry, curse you. Dry. What do I want to go with this? That's what I wanted to do. I'm going to get a little bit of a lighter teal. So I'm trying to think of how to go about this, painting our space frog character as if it's a planetary nebula. And it's wet on wet at this point because it's which is crazy. Maybe you should add space frog flying to the frog nebula. That could be the case. I could actually just have him in his little. I have several designs for a space frog vehicle, so I haven't really settled on it yet on what space frog's little flying vehicle will look like. There's multiple versions. Let's put it that way. Now, none of these colors are particularly bright, which I think is going to work out well, so that the stars that are coming in will definitely hit it. Space pig dot. Yeah, that's right. I'll give you the space pig dot. Oh, poor pig, poor space pig. Oh my gosh, keep getting left out in the strong end of it. There we go. Alrighty. So we've had here's some of our previous ones. I've covered them up so I don't get much paint on them. This was cats, for instance. Last week's was the Fifth Element, where we depicted Space Frog as the diva, and then battle. So there we go. Yeah, there's we're Space Frogging. What is Space Frog? Well, that's a tough one. We're just gonna we're figuring out what is Space Frog as we go, right, everybody? Yes, we are. It's very, very important that we all have our own definitions. We're gonna go from there. Okay. I'm looking at it on the screen. There's definitely going to need to be. Let's see. I think I need a yellow. I think to go with the orange, I'm going to need some yellow. So benzimidazole. Oh, odio. What? Yeah. Benzimidazolone. Benzimidazolone yellow. What the heck? Yeah. Get the benzimidazolone. Why? Because we need yellow. Oh, yeah, because that's what that makes sense to me, right? Uh-oh. Alrighty. I think I have cats trying to break into the office too, but I'm not letting them in. They're not. I refuse. I refuse. Let's see. Need a thing for this to go in. Where am I? Ah, here we go. I'm running out of space in my stuff, so I'll put some yellow in here. No, I won't. He says he won't. Does Space Pig have a name by any chance, Rhonda? I wasn't sure if you had named the Space Pig. But yeah. All right. We could have a whole community of space-based proto-humans. Anthropomorphic. Yeah, this is what we want. I just want to touch in some. Since this is all still wet, I'm I'm gonna bank on the flow of paint here to deliver my nebula effect, right? That is my on a macro level here. It kind of looks like flames, actually. It's like the flame nebula, right? Yeah, we'll go ahead and just add a little bit more in there too. This is I have a little leeway down here with what would basically be Space Frog's clothing, because I haven't exactly established a pattern in his clothing at all. But seeing as how I've used a lot of blues up there, any amount of this that I use will any amount of this yellow will help work it into green, right? Oh yes, it will. Oh yes, it will. There we go. In the Space Frog Nebula, and thankfully I used a whole lot of phthalo in this bluer here. There we go. He started as one of my When Pigs Fly paintings. Okay. And then morphed into his own uniqueness of Space Pig. Well, I approve of that uniqueness, Rhonda. I think that's very, very cool. Seriously. Surratt. Based on the fact that I pointillismed him. Him, the yes, generally. Let that just dribble into there, and yes. Oh, I had water on that. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. So because I'd put this paint that I put down earlier was had a lot of blue in it, blue and teal. So now as I drag this wet brush in with just a little bit of yellow, it's going to do all the work for us, getting a nice green in here, and working also with. I got the smile there. Let me see if I can't. Oh, that's way too much, but it's kind of cool. I'm gonna go with it. Yeah, we're just gonna go with it. Hey, it's like you snooze, you lose, right? There you go. And then I'll let this corner go kind of abstracty, because it should just look like a nebula that suddenly has Space Frog in it, right? In fact, because of that, wouldn't there be like other nebula shapes out here? So maybe I just do this. Yeah, add some extra nebulosity out here, to play with the theme. It's space, right? Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I think I'll do the same thing down here. So we're gonna make this look like it's a close-up image of like the Hubble or JWST, right? Hitting some area of space with its nebulosity, and then we're gonna, yeah, I'm covering up those other those stars, right? There we go. I can post it in Discord. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, that'd be fun. By the way, everybody, if you're just joining and you want to get in on all the action, go ahead and join my Discord. At least until Discord turns into some weird place that demands your ID. I don't know. Very weird. So anyhow, for now, we're having a good time. We are having a grand time on the Discord. Are we not? I think so. There we go. Just pull this on in. I'm just having fun. I'm just shoving paint around until it does what I want it to do. We're gonna leave it kind of dark around Space Frog's face. I'm going to grab some more of my orange. It's the line, I think, that's kind of getting to me. There's like a line right here. Yay. There we go. Kind of digging that. Now it's kind of taking on the look of like one of the old James Blish Star Trek novels, right? I'm lifting it up so I can get the glare off of it a little bit, but yeah. the space the space frog nebula. This is so ridiculous. I can't believe you people encourage me. Oh my gosh. What the heck here, right? Oh wow. Okay. So too funny. Yes. Alrighty. Oh, my face was gone. There we go. Okay, we are about an hour into it, so I'm gonna leave this on here. I'm gonna take this one on. I take a quick break, right? If you don't mind, quick 2-3 minutes, and we'll come right back and we'll kind of pick up where we left off. So don't go away. Stick around. We're out here for the afternoon. I'm Christopher Dahl. We are painting space art things today, and of course, if your managers have planned a meeting for you this afternoon, you're welcome to tell them you cannot attend because you have more important things to do, like watch my live stream. Absolutely. There we go. I posted both versions. Cool. Alrighty. We will take a look at those in just a second. Hang tight. I don't even have mine loaded here. All right, folks. Be right back. Give me 2 seconds, 2 minutes. There we go. Yes. I will put there we go. Yay. I'm sorry about the music. I haven't rectified the music situation yet. We're working on it. And then we'll just do like that. There we go. All right, right back. We are back. We are back. Alrighty, let's just let's take a look. Let's see if I pop these up for you here, Rhonda. This is actually pretty cool. All right, let's take a look. Oh yeah, there we go. Yes, Space Pig. Here we go. That's the one. So I'm very proud. Thank you so much, Rhonda. We have this one on our wall. I adore this. This is Rhonda's Space Pig, and there's 2 of them. Yeah, this is the one that's on my mug right now. So that's very cool. So I don't know if you still have them on your shop there, Rhonda, but you're welcome to post the link. So if you still have these available, please feel free to post them in the Discord. Oh, it's my, I don't want to show you my coffee. That's disgusting. Oh my God, what was I thinking? Holy crap. There we go. So Space Pig, I love it. But yeah, there we go. Absolutely adorable. Thank you. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna shut that down. There we go. Alrighty. Very cool. So, hey, if you're just joining, thank you so much hanging out with me on a Friday afternoon here. I'm Christopher Dahl. Space Pig is very cute. Space Pig is very, very cute. Oh, you don't have a shop anymore. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay. Listen, when you pull one up, let me know. I will absolutely make sure that it's in there. But yeah, so let's see. Business. If you're just joining, we are painting our space frog for the week. We're doing this one up here. The theme is Nebula, and I'm trying to paint him as if it's the space frog Nebula. But also, if in case you're interested, let's just make sure I got this one going on here. Pull this on here. Yes, the Discord. So you're welcome to join the Discord. I will pull up the link. I will relink that. Housekeeping here. There we go. And I am also the Space Frog stuff is being. You'll see it first over here on my Patreon if you're so inclined. There we go. And yeah, so I'm releasing it. Like I said earlier, it's comics heavy right now. My Breaking Fitz Law strip, and we are working on Space Frog. There's some Space Frog stuff you're not gonna want to miss. Yes, it's very cool. I am I am now doing our Sunday Patreon only live streams. So if you're interested, Sunday afternoon, same time, 3:00. We're gonna do a little sneak peek at the projects going on here. We had our first one last week. It was great. It was really fun. So yeah, check it out. All right. Let's get back to some painting, shall we? There we go. Pull this on back down. All right, we got some Space Frog. Yeah, the Space Pig Jetsons painting. I absolutely love that. There's definitely a theme developing here amongst all of these critters, isn't there? Okay. I think what this painting lacks is like a little well, I need to do an identifiable ship, right? So, the Death Star. Easy. We're just gonna, let me see. I'm gonna put it right here, as if it's flying, as if the ship is flying from here up to, it's very small. That's okay, though. We're gonna do a little one here. There we go. Boo boo. I'm gonna do this. There we go. Oh, okay. So it's too small. I'm still painting on a canvas. I'm trying to paint tiny detail on a canvas, and it's just like rolling all over the texture. But that's okay. We got this. We got this, everybody. Right? Awesome. Here's this, and yeah, you know me. I'm just that kind of guy. So yeah. Sometimes I'll actually paint my own ship. I do that quite a bit on live. So I haven't done it in a while. I know I'm kind of coming off a little bit of a hiatus here, so we're getting back into it. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Thank you for your patience. There we go. We're just gonna put that in there. There we are. And it's still a little wet. I think that if I dot paint on here, it's gonna be a problem. I need to dry this off in a big way. There we go. Let's try just a dot. My stars. Stars. Okay, so I am absolutely going to save the stars until the end because it's still too wet. If I drop a dot on here, it's just gonna run. So I will save the stars till the end. So now you're trying to figure out what your space spirit animal is. it's very important to reach into your inner space animal. Yes. I'm gonna turn my head off here again for a second. There we go. Alrighty. So keeping with the theme of the painting, a lot of the colors here are going to be in these teals again. So on our little starship here, on the good ship. There we go. They're going to give it a little depth. A little what? A little depth. Yes, there we go. And then in here, I'm adding a couple of stars to the whole thing. Mine is the immortal tardigrade. Yes. That's awesome. The tardigrade. I feel like I have no choice but to answer that mine is definitely a cat because we have so damn many of them. They seem to have found me. Someone has to be the hamster. Absolutely. Someone, well, if Iridium doesn't show up soon, we're going to give Iridium the hamster, okay? I'm just kidding. I don't want to give anyone stress for not showing up. That's mean. Stop me. All right. Getting some space in here. Just trying to see. Right? There we go. Oh, wow. There's wet. That's just wet. That's not good. All right. If I don't get that, I will be messing with everything. There we go. I just dropped a water blob on there. All right. Okay. Yes, it is the space beaver. That's a very Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy take on things, isn't it? Alrighty, we're gonna be shifting back and forth a little bit here, and I don't think that's a problem, right? We're gonna just move this on up, and let's go right ahead here, and we'll bring on our god of all things gracious. We're gonna cross the streams a little bit because honestly, I feel like I kind of have a the palette is playing off of each other here. Space Stoat, the mighty Stoat. All right, I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that I've got this teal here still, and we're gonna fill in the great god Apollo's fingers and thumbs here. We're gonna follow the same principle as before. I'm gonna drop this in, so we have some teal. We'll bright green this, right? We will absolutely bright green this, but in the meantime, I need to have some definition, right? We need to have some definition of these godlike fingers. The absurdity that is 1960s television. This is important. There we go. Yes. And then this is actually what we're seeing in the back is actually the pinky because that's an important way to indicate that this is a classy god Apollo. I always get the hands kind of funky, so I sort of get it in the ballpark, and then I hope I just hope against hope that I'm in the right direction. But I think we're getting there. Space bat, they hang upside down the whole time. I'm in. I'm totally in on this idea. Are you kidding me? It's just great. I'm gonna grab my little combo of inner darkness here. There we go. Yeah, there we are. A little bit more dark blue. There we are. And then this is going to be the inside space stuff here. And we're just gonna be sloppy with the interface between this and the other one. There we go. Same thing with the fingers here. We're gonna do a core of dark, and it's gonna be as if it's all these objects are being lit from the outside. So yeah. There's a plan. There is a plan, everybody. I promise. And like I said, I work in the blues here. That way, working in the blues, working in the blues. Space nutria, space flatworm, the flatworm, the mighty flatworm. That just the humble flatworm that just only gets its due in science classes. What were you in your previous life? I was a flatworm, and I was dissected by a whole bunch of snotty kids. There we go. Yeah, this is kind of a reasonably ghost-like, you know, glowing in space sort of appendage. The appendages of the gods. With a new book. All right. Now, things get really fun. Since it has to be a green hand, let it be green. It was green and glowy, right? So we were very green and glowy here. I do miss that thing about Twitch was having just kind of any music. I was cheating doing it, but it was a good cheat, and I miss it. I'll flat out miss it, no question. Oh yeah, there we go. This is working out better than I'd anticipated. I thought I'd be mixing up greens, but it turns out that if I do it this way, I'm actually just sort of mixing them up on the board here a little bit, and happy accidenting my way through life is not a bad thing, actually. So yeah. Oh, too much there. Too much, but that's all right. I'll just pull as too much and on the other one is what we'll do. So the fingers themselves, la finger. There we go. This is cracking me up. It reminds me of box art from the old Aurora model kits, right? Like this is like the color tones that they painted the Frankenstein model in. Oh, who is that guy that did that? I'm gonna forget. I'm again forgetting his name. I can picture the artwork, but yeah, I can't think of it off the top of me head for the life of me. Anyhow, yeah, there we go. So for those of you following along, the way I did this was I outlined in turquoise, right, and then I filled it in with this dark phthalo blue turquoise and a little touch of raw umber. So the middle kind of gets a little bit grayed out and darker. And while this is all still wet, you come back in with your bright yellow, and it just sort of like it treats it like the surface, and you get your greens. You get your greens there, and you should always have your greens, right? I love your art and talks. Do you like Bob Ross and Bill Alexander? Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, actually, I do. Both Bob Ross and Bill Alexander were shows that I watched when I was much younger. Not like religiously, but they were the only thing on Sunday, and I liked them. I was already I was already kind of drawing and painting, so to me, it was a little bit like magic, right? It was a little bit like magic. Anyone that watches Bob Ross, Bill Alexander, for those of you who don't know, was the sort of the tutor. Bob Ross is like tutor. Bob Ross actually worked with Bill Alexander for a while. Bill Alexander did the same kind of wet on wet oil painting, and together they did their thing. There were a few others in the mix that did that kind of painting as well, but I feel like Bill Alexander and Bob Ross kind of really took the stage for it. It was a technique that lent itself well to 24 4 minutes or whatever it was, a half hour of public television shows, which is great. So to a certain degree, yes, I've sort of I guess you could say I have sort of I'm I'm tacking to that vibe, if you will, but obviously I'm an hour and 15 minutes into this, so I'm not. The plan is never to do these on the quick myself, although I have. Um, yeah, I've even done them in oils. I have definitely done my couple of oil paintings that way. It's fun. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of enjoying taking a little bit of a little different approach this week. So, all right, that's pretty fun. Actually, I kind of this is cracking me up on its own. All right. So, with that in mind, let us go back here to the frog. Frog. So, I want to do I don't know what I want to do. I don't. Let's grab a little bit of this phthalo here. I need some just a slight indication of detail on this ship, right? Just a little bit. There, that'll make that read like it's an actual, an actual thing. And maybe what I could just do, this would be kind of silly, but I might just do it anyway. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Gene Roddenberry absolutely insisted there would be no rocket ship style, contrails coming off the back of their ships in Star Trek. But the guys that did the books, there were guys that painted them, loved doing little rocket contrails off the back. I know it's going to be really hard to see from where you guys are at. I'm going to try to lighten it up just a touch. There we go. Give them a little flames. You love little stars. Thank you. I do too. I just, you got to add, you got to have the fun. All right. I'm going to need a few more of these post-it notes here. If I'm gonna, we're gonna add a few more stars to this one. We're gonna see if I can pull this off, right? So I want everything covered up, including my spaghetti space frog. Here we go. We'll pull this in. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. The thing is, I'm gonna need a small brush to do this. I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off. There we go. Okay. I could do this one. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me go grab the thing. Hang tight. I gotta grab another brush. This has become my stars upon thars brush over the years. This is old, beaten up fan brush, and this has been the stars, the stars brush. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the stars. We're gonna go ahead and just grab some white here, and oh, you know what I could do? We could do a test, right? We could do the official test. Let's see how it looks. Oh yeah, there we go. That's totally gonna do it. Oh yeah. All right, that's a good test. We're gonna go with that. All right, folks. Here it comes. We're gonna add the stars to the space frog here. Yay! All right. Controlled. Yay! Yeah, just a touch more. It's a pretty liquidy paint. I almost do not need to do that. There. Well, it's a little bit much, but that's okay. We've got this. We got this. Yay! There we go. I present to you the space frog painting of the week. Move some things out of the way. Nebula. Da 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 da. Honestly, I appreciate the feedback, folks. If I get an idea and I want to run with it, don't feel bad if I don't go with it. But that's actually this is a fun one. I really like this. So thank you. It's a team effort, everybody. It's the Space Frog Nebula. Now, if there's ever a point where someone's going to have to guess which ones are which, they might have to get this one by elimination because it's probably the least. Well, actually, battle here is pretty tricky too, right? Um, yeah, I might get rid of some of these stars, but we'll just go with it. Yay! How fun! I've been painting along with you and Rebel. Oh, very cool, very cool. Rebel's and for those who don't know, we were talking about this last week. Rebel's an app that does really good watercoloring. It's a graphics design app. Alrighty, there we go. Now, at the end of this, I will absolutely post the photos of our work tonight on Discord for everybody. So yeah, how very fun. How very fun indeed. Alrighty, let's come back to our feature painting with coming up here. All right, here we go. Feature painting. Da 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 da. I need another thing that I can use for. I need like another paint cup of some kind. That's what I'm going to need. Actually, I could probably use the other side of this one. Let's just do that. All right. So, all right, there we go. Boom. We are back. I am going to go ahead and continue on to this. We're going to see if we can get the old Enterprise girl here painted in. And I think I'm going to go with some grays. Yeah, let's go with an 80% gray. I've got gray number 8. Our neutral gray number 8. I ended up getting paint all over my fingers when I do this. So yeah, some of those are fun enough to the point where I might want to do them larger. I do have a lot of canvases here, everybody. I've got a lot of canvases on hand and a lot of paint. So there's gonna be some painting coming up. How do you like that? All right, here we go. So this is kind of you can see it. It's all over the magenta. This is a gray. They call it neutral 8, which I presume to mean it's like a 80 or the other one 20% gray. And what we're gonna do with this, I'm gonna take my smaller brush here. I'm going to grab a little bit of our. So we've got all this going on. I'm going to touch some of our teal, and I'm going to try to mix up a little. Oh, I might need some more teal. Look at that. There we go. I want more teal. I'm going to need more teal. Yeah, it's just too gray on its own. I'm going to bring on the teal. We could refresh the teal. We're refreshing the teal. You like Nebula Space Frog? Thank you. I do too. I'm digging that. I'm you know. I need to take a snapshot of some kind so I can just leave them up on there. That's just fun. That's cool. And Stephanie's she's not even here to enjoy it. That's okay. Well, that's all right. We got it. We got this. All right. The Enterprise D. How many of you have built this model, right? How many of you built a model kit of the Enterprise D? Like the AMT one, any of that stuff, and painted it? For those that don't know, the color of the Enterprise will forever be a topic of argument and discussion, even when the actual numbers and paint colors are there. Anyway. So the way I go about it, it depends on the ship. Not all Enterprises are painted equal. What I want to do is I want to come in with this this sort of chalky neutral gray and fill in the colors of the hull. And it's okay if I come in a little bit. Oh no, I got some yellow in it. Crapola. Oh, bugger. Okay, cool. Well, I better get this on. Let's see. It's going on so wet. So wet. It's okay. If I get it on thin enough, I can treat this like a what do you call it? Like a wash, right? Or not a wash, a glaze. That's it. The glaze. We're deglazed ham. Yes, that's it. We're glazing, folks. That's my official term. I got the Revell TOS Enterprise in the box. Oh, cool. That's a good one. That's a good kit too, by the way. It's a great size. I really like that one for the size. It's really cool. A nice size. I've been I have an an embarrassment of would they say an embarrassment of riches when it comes to models I own that I have not finished building. Yes, my name is Chris. I'm a modelholic. You can't make me stop buying them. Oh no, no! What the heck am I doing? Jesus! Sorry. Didn't mean to take the Lord's name in vain, but we will fix that. Can't believe I just did that. For God's sakes! Ha! Thank you. Reminds me, I wanted to get get ham this week. Yes, exactly. I've been watching too much Ren and Stimpy, Rhonda. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I have a lot of models, and you know, I build them. I build them when I get the chance. Yay. It had always been my intention to sort of include a model building component to the show here, and I have done it a few times. We may come back and do some more again, but it's tricky for me because I feel like building models can be a little bit like watching paint dry. if not done properly, right? All right, here we go. A little darker, There we go. A little darker there. We're venting dry plasma. Right. We're full on in the dry plasma venting mode on this painting. Holy crap. I've tried to come up with some hull colors on the fly, and it ain't working. Yeah, it's working okay. There we go. Anyway, the paint job on these damn things is ridiculous because they decided to give them the Aztec pattern. The Aztec pattern means that it looks like the whole ship was built with 4x8 sheets of some mystery metal, but not all at the same time, right? It's sort of like some on this side, some on this side, and then they make a pattern that reminds you of like Aztec stuff. So there we go. Venting drive plasma. The damn drive plasma. All the time. All the time. You'd think you'd want to contain that shit, right? You'd think you'd want to contain that drive plasma. I will say, for those that know, in my watching of the Next Generation stuff, I continued after the end of the show to watch the movie Generations, which was the first theatrical movie they attempted with the cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation at the end of the show for a feature-length movie. And I have to admit, it is absolutely not my favorite. I don't know what it is about that movie. It just fails on a couple of, I don't know. It's just, there's something broken about it. Tonally, the movie is disappointing to me in so many ways. There's a spaghetti western style films called They Call Me Trinity. I've seen the movie. Yes, I've seen the Trinity movies. Yeah, Trinity's Still My Name. Terrence Hill and Bud Spencer. Oh, absolutely. Thank you for that. Because honestly, I haven't seen them in a while. I think they're all on Tubi. I think they're on Tubi right now, aren't they? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, those are good. Those are classics, right? Well, I haven't seen them in a very long time though. The green hand reminds me of the hand that tries to grab Daphne at the beginning of Scooby-Doo. It was, oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, I am a Saturday morning cartoon junkie, so I do remember that, actually. I remember that very well. I'm trying to inflict a sense of shadow on this. But hey, check this out. Oh, look at my little streak is kind of doing a really weird thing down there, isn't it? Isn't that weird? It's kind of making it work. Hey, somehow I'm actually getting this thing to look like the damn Enterprise. I can't believe it. Sometimes it's like, hey, is that really happening, or are you just making it up as you go? The answer is yes. He's making it up as he goes. No question whatsoever. All right, we'll get in the dark lines there. We'll get some details right along here. There we go. Yeah, I have several at different sizes. Yep, mediocre. I kind of figured you and me, probably Wes. I would guess. I don't know. Actually, Wes, I don't know what's your status on your models out there. Did you give them all up, or still got a pile? Wes crossed over to the 3D side. He does all of his models in Houdini and Lightwave. Yes, that's right. I'm just jealous. I wish if I'd played more with Lightwave, I probably would have been working with you on some of these movies, Wes. I regret it. I regret it. Very unfortunate, but that's Holodeck Custodial Cleaning Service reporting for duty, sir. Permission to come aboard? You better bring that mop here, pal. We just had a party down there in that holodeck. Holy crap, the whole Epstein crowd was there. Oh, it's disgusting. There's bodies. Oh. Too soon? Too soon? Okay. Oops. I'll purge that from the replay. How you doing, Raoul Duke? Good to see you. Classics like the bean eating scene. Most memorable. Never in my life I've been so hungry for a plate of beans. I'll have whatever. Well, see, when I hear a movie scene and plate of beans, that's not the one that comes to mind to me. I always think of the Blazing Saddles one, just because I am a broken child, and that's what comes to my mind because I'm insane. Yes. No, that's really cool. I very much enjoy doing some, diving into classic movies. Absolutely, no question. Especially these ones that haven't really been on, haven't really seen a lot of public activity in a long time. Oh, this is gross. I have to just, I don't want to pick that paint up. I don't even want it there. Okay, there we are. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let me come in and see if I can't get some detail painted in on here. The reason I'm even doing this is because I've been working on the damn model for so long that I kind of have a good sense of the shapes. I find modeling in Houdini frustrating, but getting better. Oh, interesting. Okay, so personally, I've recently my experience is it has been in Blender, just because I'm cheap, and I'm finding that the 2D tools for doing 2D animation in Blender are quite good, actually. They're quite good. So yeah, I'm having a very good time with that. All right, now on to our next bit. I'm not using a ton of colors, but I am coming in and trying to pull in. I know that this is a glowy part of the ship, and it will be, but until it is, I have to get the bronze in there. Bronze. What do you want, bronze? That's what they called them on Call the Police in the original Mad Max movie, right? Bronze. What are you doing, bronze? I know there's like I'll have to do window details and all that other fun stuff, but we'll get there. We'll get there. In the meantime, I need to restore some carbon black to things. Well, there we go. Modeling in general in 3D, I find I'm okay at it. I've approached it and walked away from it so many times that it's all kind of a headache for me. You might like the Thief and the Cobbler recobbled cut. The people who worked on Aladdin took a lot from that movie, it seems. Oh, cool. I liked Aladdin. I actually liked Aladdin a lot. All right, let me get in here and see if I can't pull off a let's see, this piece right here. Yeah, that's what I needed. I have to pull off a straight line, people. But I don't like it. No, I do. It's fine. Get a thin brush. Get some. There we go. And then there's a little line in on there, and we're going to get some in there, and little black lines. I'm not going to try to completely render this thing. I am going to get as far as I can. Anyway. Well, they didn't really need. Now that I'm thinking about the Great God of Apollo episode of the old Star Trek, they didn't really need that in here because they had Q the whole time chasing them around. So they didn't really need to have their malevolent, godlike alien every week, although they kind of did. The Q continuum. Oh, see, these are going to need proper red instead of orange. I'm starting with orange, but that's just the thing, right? So. Getting a start on the effects colors of the ship here. There is orange in here. Yes. Right now, my movie watching, I'm trying to talk myself out of watching nothing but World War II movies because that's sort of where my head's at right now. Any movie that involves defeating Nazis is kind of at the top of my game at the moment here. So am I the only one seeing the Grinch here? No, I was thinking the same thing, Rhonda. It kind of looks like the Grinch, doesn't it? No, I'm right there with you. I think so. Okay, so now we got some glowy blue bits in here. The glowy blue bits. There we go. And on this side over there too. There we are. I shouldn't have gone outside the line. I went outside the lines, everybody. I am very sorry. I went outside the lines. There we go. And then there's blue glowy bits in here. We're going to start with that. Like I said, I've been watching the show. I've been seeing what they did with their effects for this. Yeah, we're getting there. Well, here we are. There we go. Thank you. I have to go find myself a different red. Hang tight, everybody. Oh, I have magenta. I do have magenta. I forgot I can do that. So I gotta throw some more magenta in the mix here somewhere. Yeah, that's gonna work for me. I keep forgetting that's my go-to to get my reds on this. I don't actually have a very good red in liquid for it. I think it's because I don't want to do liquid cadmium, liquid paints with cadmium, and who can blame them? Okay, this is how I'm gonna get my deep reds. There we go. We're gonna, I gotta figure. These ships have all this glowy stuff on them. You gotta figure there's somebody who's really pissed off that they've got their room right by the damn whatever the thing is that's glowing, right? Why is my room right here? Why? All right. This does look totally like the. Now that's all I'm seeing, Rhonda. It's hilarious. It's like, yep, Grinch. I'm seeing nothing but the Grinch. There we go. That's funny. Just going to clean up the shapes here a little bit. There we go. Coming in with the old black. There we go. All right. That would be quite the view from 10 forward. Like, what is it? Oh my god, it's just a giant hand. All right, I know what we're going to be doing this week, right? That would just be like totally what people would be saying on the ships. Like, okay, I guess I'm getting called to the bridge in like 5 minutes, aren't I? I guess I can't stay here for another drink. These are the windows that I'm putting on it, by the way, everybody, because the ship is just covered in freaking windows, like ridiculous amounts of windows, which actually makes it very cool. So I'm not complaining. I it's a hassle if you're trying to paint the thing and a model and light it, but that's just another thing, right? All right. I hear 10 forward is where all the palm readers hang out. It totally is. Jesus. All right. You know what? Lee, I'm never going to get to all of those. Yeah. Never going to get to all of those. Although I've read some of the ones on your list for sure. Bum, bum, bum. All right. Somebody take notes for me because I don't have all of those down. All right. Let's see. How do I want to tackle this? So let's get a few of these on here because we're gonna need yeah. See, you get a nice little um oh, the geometry on this ship is insane. There's like levels and levels. I don't think I'm gonna get to all the details, folks. I'm just gonna hint at this stuff, right? There's no way I'm gonna be able to get all of these. But you get a small enough brush, you can certainly do them. And I hope that my white ones actually show up. So the Betazoid palm readers. Not That's not fair. You can't be a palm reader and be an empath that reads my damn brain, right? That's just that ain't happening, right? That's totally unfair. Or worse, showing up at Quarks for gambling purposes. Doesn't he have like a no beta Z rule? Maybe not. I can't remember. All right. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I forget who the gal is that's what's her name? There's a gal that's painting fine art Star Trek stuff. She's got like a license and everything. She did a gorgeous Enterprise D recently and unveiled it. Yeah, she's going to all the conventions and everything, and just solely painting Star Trek ships and characters and things. Good for her. But I I thought about it. I'm open to the idea of hitting them up and saying, "Hey, let's do some things. Let's figure that out." But licensing opens you up to all sorts of crazy stuff. So I don't know. Fingers crossed. Maybe, maybe not. All right, let's see if I can pull off the windows. Right, the same way I just did there. Oh, I can. Yeah, look at that. Oh, cool. Can you even see them? Oh, it's going to be impossible to see. Here, I'll do them in the light. There we go. You'll have to take my word for it. They're tiny, but they are visible. All right. So at the end of this, everybody, when I post this in Discord, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about with the windows. 10 forward, right there. There we go. Putting it right in. All right, there we go. It's funny how when you do kind of get it right, or at least get the basic shapes down, the Enterprise D is kind of fun to paint, especially when you see it actually come to life just before your eyes. It's a good shape. Good shape. You get some gray and some windows in there. It's not bad. So there we go. I'm gonna leave the streak in here. I don't even know what it is, but it kind of looks like the ship just screeched to a halt. So I'm gonna call it a happy accident for the benefit of this painting, and we can revisit it later. Uh, all right. Let's get some bright lights in here on that little deflector dish. Some bright light action in there. There we go. All righty. It That's going to look like that. That's kind of what it's going to look like without the reflection of the stuff in there. So this is almost like a world. What do you think, people? Do I complete this as a world, or I just get rid of it? I might just get rid of it. I think I'm gonna get rid of it. All right. Making the call. I'm gonna get rid of this. There we are. Hey, take care. Thanks a lot, everybody. Yeah. Have a good day and night yourself. Thanks for coming by, and thanks for all the recommendations. I appreciate it. Enjoy. We will be here next week. Thank you. Oh, I know what I need in here. I'm going to need a little more of my titanium white, though. Do this. Hey, look, folks, I'm actually going to get 2 of them done this week. Well, this one I started last week, so that almost doesn't count. But that's okay. It could be the bird of prey decloaking, right? Exactly. Yes. I'm still annoyed that the Enterprise D had to die in Generations just because they couldn't think of anything better to do. That's really annoying to me. So, anyway. That's one of the things that bugged me about that movie. I don't think they needed to do a Destroy the Enterprise thing there, but they had their reasons and whatever. I just don't like their reasons. There we go. So for this one, I absolutely am going to do some stars. Let me just give this a second to set up here. There we go. Yeah. Boom. So yeah, everybody, we're going to do this every Friday, and here's what it looks like so far on this camera. This is actually pretty cool. Once this dries up and everything, it's going to be fun. But yeah, Rhonda, I'm seeing the Grinch too, but I like it. I don't think I'm gonna change it. I kind of dig it, right? So, I kind of dig how it just sort of looks like doink, like just grabbed out of the air. The I don't remember this episode series. That's what I'll call it. The I don't remember this episode. Alrighty, folks. Face is going off. We're coming back to it. I think we need to put some stars on this one. What do you think, everybody? I think this one needs some stars. In fact, I'm going to find something to put this on. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'll do this. Let me prop this up a little bit. There. That way we can kind of see it. Once last before you go. Work for Peace by Gil Scott Heron. Yeah, Work for Peace. I like that. Yes, it was how I took the wind from your sails. Good. All right, here we go. Let's get some stars on this one. What do you think, everybody? Here we go. You got here just in time for the main event. Yeah! Woohoo! All righty. Let's see if we can't give it a test here. Here we go. Lightly. Couple. A bit more. I might need, oh, there we go. Yeah, we got to have some stars inside there. I'm going to turn it over to do the top section here, right? Oh, nice. This is working good. Oh, shit. Oh, that one didn't work so well. Ah, emergency stars. Okay, well, we'll just paint over those in a minute. Ah, that one too. Dang it. It was going so well. Well, now it kind of has that animated start. So this would look like if it was the Filmation animated show. I might leave the mistakes. What do you think, everybody? Do we leave the mistake? Maybe paint the one that's like close over here. Yeah, we'll get rid of that one. Here we go. Where's my other brush? Here, we're gonna get this one. Here we go. We'll get rid of those. We're gonna get rid of this one, and gonna get rid of this one. There we are. We'll clean those up. That's just a band. Control Z. Control Z. That's the thing about that. I'm not going to lie to you. I used to worry about making mistakes like that and like, I don't have any undo. But you know what? You get over it, right? You really do. You get over it. You realize that it's just paint and everything can go right over it. I'm leaving it. You're right, Rhonda. I am leaving it. There we go. That is one serious Enterprise getting grabbed by yeah, anyway, by the Grinch. By the Grinch. Oh, too funny. All right, let me get a proper signature Reno on here. This has been a fun time. All right, I've got some orange, so I think that's going to be the color of choice for this. Touch of white. There we go. I am absolutely leaving it. All right, here we go. What I really enjoyed about this one, and I didn't really talk about it much, the surface of this card was really nice. Like I said, I used a clear gesso, which actually gives it a nice tooth, seals it up a little bit, and it really made it nice to paint on. So that was pretty cool. Slimer, right? The Ghostbusters. Doink. This is fun. Yeah, this is from the I Don't Remember That Episode series. The Ghostbusters crossover. You didn't know it needed, right? You're always crossing the streams. Pinkman, what happens if we cross the streams? It's bad, Ray. It's bad. Well, what's bad? Oh, cool. Alrighty, so we've got this one, and we have, let me put it back on here with our Space Frog, the Nebula. This is we've combined efforts this week, people. There we go. I'm trying to get them all in here. Boom. Or I could just show it this way. There we go. All right, here's this one. The Space Frog Nebula, and then our I Don't Remember That Episode Star Trek one. There we go. Oh, very fun. Thanks, Houdini. I appreciate it. I'm having fun coming back to doing the stream. So thank you all for your patience over the last so many months, the last year, and we are going to have a good time with this. Awesome. I'm liking this. I'm going to get a couple more. I've got a bunch more of this illustration board that I'm going to cut up, and we're going to have a good time with it. Absolutely going to have a good time with it. Yeah. Oh, I'm noticing now that this is drying, it definitely needs a little core star action, right? Right along there. There we go. I might do a few more of those. Pink, pink. Okay. Very cool. Well, everybody, I am going to go ahead and we're going to sign off today. Thank you all so much for joining me on a Friday afternoon live stream. If you're on Patreon, we'll have our Sunday Patreon live stream at 3 o'clock. And for the members here, I am going to introduce another live stream just for the folks that are members on YouTube. We're going to do members only live stream in addition. So excellent. Thank you all, everybody. Stay safe, support each other. We'll get through this, and we will catch you all next week. Oh, he says, okay, I'm okay with the Enterprise D dying because your favorite was the E. Well, the E was a gorgeous ship. Do not get me wrong. The E was gorgeous. All right, everybody. Take care. We will catch you all next week. See you, everybody. Where is the outro? And go.
All right, so I've taken my white paint,
Louder.
my little fan brush here, and let's just see how crazy this goes. This is where I throw paint everywhere. That just kind of gives it an air of legitimacy that it doesn't deserve. You know?
I have Bob Ross the shit out of this painting.